do you feel about tokenism in advertisements, and is tokenism better than not including African Americans at all?
Well, first of all, we have tokenism in the industry of having one or two African Americans or Asians or one woman that's a part of the advertising team. So in effort to try to have a voice for everyone, you do have one or two minorities that create the presence and that sadly are supposed to be the voice of that entire race or that entire gender. So that in itself is problematic.
If African Americans get a slight part in a commercial, it's better than nothing. But my concern is this: if they play the negative role in a commercial, no matter whether they play the dominant character or the sidekick character, that's where the problem is. It depends on what they're playing. Not that they shouldn't play the negative role either. We just need to have a balance so that it's not always negative. So that we have positive and negative, just like the majority in the society. You have good, bad, in between that they do play. So we need to have the opportunity to play that variety of roles.
From my point of view, I think for different races, they shouldn't have different specific, say, advertisement for specific races, because it is a globalized world, and this is diversity is really very important. I think for human beings, we share a lot of similarities.
I believe in diversity in terms of advertisements. People vote with their dollars, kind of deal. And as I was saying before, we use soap powder, we buy makeup, we send our kids to summer camp, we pay taxes, we do all of these things. And so I understand that it's important to segment the market and all of that, but I think it's just crucial to pay attention to people in general.
Find it like if there's a commercial and they don't have a black person in it, and then I also feel like, okay, well, they could at least throw somebody into this commercial rather than just being like, okay, everybody's just white in this, or they just have like a thing full of black people doing things that black people, like how they say black people usually do.
The Burger King commercial that featured Mary J. Blige, she was singing about crispy chicken wraps.
Crispy chicken, fresh lettuce.
She looked really silly, so that's the only thing I thought about the commercial. I didn't think it made her look racist. Cause
you can see some certain products that a black girl wouldn't use as opposed to a white girl. What would they use? You see, herbal essences advertising in Essence magazine, but would someone who has the texture of hair that I have be using herbal essences as opposed to a Caucasian person? Probably not. So it's just kind of thinking in that kind of forefront way of how do they digest things and what would be perceived as authentic and speaking to that direct audience.
You know, we still, I think, do our own selves a disservice by, when you see, I think still some of the shows show us as demeaning. For instance, we will laugh at our own, our own demise. That will take African American effort. You know, a lot of times we want other people to put us in the limelight, but how about we just do that ourselves?
Because we do not hold positions in the higher ups, that affects the kind of images that we see of ourselves on the screen. A lot of us want to be cute, want to look cute in front of the camera, but we need to be behind the camera and move up the ranks. And what I tell people is that if you want to fix a house, you don't fix the house from outside. You have to be a part of the household family in order to fix it. So we have to have patience and work our way up in whatever the industry is, whether it's in the advertising or in the television, so that we get to the point where we can make those kind of decisions, and that will affect what we see.
We need to teach advertising and marketing from a really global and culturally entrenched perspective.
But if you don't demand, there won't be any change. Imagine if people don't demand for changes, how static societies will be today. There won't be any change, it will just be static. The people who demand for changes, those are the people who make the society to move forward. So change is good.
Change is good.
Yes, it is good.